All right, guys. Some examples of how to use the verbal journal. This happens to be on Sierra. If you're watching this video, verbal journal right now works on NinjaTrader 7 or 8 and Sierra charts. You're looking at Sierra now. You have a button in the upper left-hand corner. You can put it on top. It's called VJ. So after you get it, you click it. Anywhere you click on the chart, this dialog box comes up. We know that. So let's close that down. You're looking at a live market right now. The S&P 500, the ES, trading around 61, 62 even. Some interesting things are happening, but how are you going to, if you're not going to trade it and you want to demo trade it or look at what you miss and you get mad about stuff, let's just look at how a couple ways to use this. We just got a red that came in right here, a red edge zone come in. I like when they don't work. They work this time. Another red came in. They work this time. Another red came in. If they stop working, I think we could go up, but they're working. This is a way to read order flow, right? So I'm looking at these two reds and saying that's potential resistance. If you're just learning this stuff, you could put a verbal journal down there. You could color it red, okay? You could draw a line and you could pre-select here resistance. This whole pre-selected list doesn't have resistance on there. So let's just put R for resistance to save time. Then start recording, say, hey, a couple aggressive selling edge zones come in here, should be overhead resistance. You can go on and say what you want. Hit stop, hit close, and the red dot in the line appears. Not only do you have resistance that you're seeing and documenting, but you know why. You add that dimension with the verbal journal. And you could see, even though I explained how to use it, how quick it was to click, record, stop, and now you got that. So you got two red ones that came in. The market sold off, came back once for resistance. Now let's see if it comes back again. And if it stops here, there's nothing to qualify to take a short at this resistance. Nothing. Meaning it didn't go green and not go up, and you could sell it. Great disqualifier right here. The NASDAQ at the same time, things that I watch, was firing north. Good resistance, but it didn't work, and you didn't have to get stuck because you disqualified it with no green. I like to qualify resistance to have green buying come in and it can't go up. Then I take a shot at resistance. When I don't see the green buying come in, or I see it come in and it shoots up, hey, hands off. That's why I like when resistance doesn't work more than I like when it does work, or there's just another dual purpose for it. So let's keep watching this market. Obviously, I have no idea what's going to happen because it's what we try to do, read the right side of the market. When did it get strong, by the way? Right in here. How did we know that? Because it didn't stop where it should have stopped. So you could put another verbal journal note on here in real time and say, for instance, you're bullish, and you can make the color, I don't know, blue. That's what I use, but you don't have to. And you hit record and you say, hey, when this resistance didn't hold, okay, number one, it got me bullish. And number two, there was a disqualifying moment to try to sell it because it didn't get green and not go up, something that I like to look at. You stop it, you close it, and now you got a blue circle there to go back and say why you turned bullish here instead of having to wait till it's trading 64. Make sense? And now we watch it, okay? We watch it. And at this point, we got a long bar up and a long bar down. I'm still slightly bullish. That doesn't mean I have to get long, right? Slightly bullish, but ready to change my mind with the market. You don't have to change your mind as much as, well, I should say like this. You should change your mind as much as the market does, but that doesn't mean you have to be long when you're bullish and short when you're bearish. You shouldn't be. You go crazy. Right now, I'm neutral. Why am I neutral? Because this is a long bar up, this is a long bar down. It already rallied from down here at 57, so it's a hand off the mouse moment. I'm neutral. You don't have to have an opinion. You don't have to be bullish and have to be bearish. The market right now, to me, is neutral. It doesn't know where it's going to go. Why would we? You just wait and you see, maybe you have a setup, maybe you don't. Maybe you make a verbal journal note as to why you think this could be less bearish, or I'm sorry, less bullish, even though it rallied. Just you stay calm and you're now reading the market, trading the market. Am I slightly bearish? Yes. So I went from being bullish in here to being neutral in here to slightly bearish because it's moving lower. Again, keeping me out of This didn't get me into a short trade, which would have worked, kept me out of trying to get into a long trade. And that's just as important. Does it surprise me it's going to stop here and go up? No. Old resistance, new support. Plus, this was the transitional moment. You guys that have followed me through the Edge trading group community know that transitional moments are important for subsequent support or resistance, in this case, support. So I'm slightly bearish still. I don't think this is going to hold this time because it's kind of bearish, volatile day, right? You got to be really careful buying support or resistance. Now you got red edge zone coming in and it's getting it to go down. If you're bullish, you could say to yourself, you could put a verbal journal and say, hey, I'm bullish, but when this red comes in and it goes down, hand off the mouse, I'm not getting in front of that train. You could wait to see if this red gets taken out, but it didn't. It just followed through to the downside. So you see the transitional moment where you're bullish in here, neutral, bearish. Yeah, it could hold. Maybe not this time. Why not? Because it's getting red. Sellers are actually getting the damn thing to do what it should. None of this is a surprise. Before you start putting trades on, you have to turn fear into confidence. You have to replace fear with confidence, but you have to strip out randomness before any of that happens, all right? So just a couple ways to use the verbal journal in real time, and this is only, what, 5 minutes into some of this analysis. Now here, if you're bullish and this red starts to get taken out, you might think of saying, if you're bullish for another reason, you might, when this gets taken out, get yourself long. It didn't. Traded 1 tick 5 contracts above this red. Hands off the mouse if you're bullish, keeping you from taking heat because the markets continued to go down. Still, no reason to think the bulls are maybe in control. Now it went red. Did you see that? It went red, couldn't go down. Now it went green and couldn't go up. There's a fight here on the lows of this move. Above 55, I would be bullish. Right in here, they should walk it up. And I'm wrong below 54. There's nothing wrong with being wrong. Just know where you're wrong. See how this upside was a little predictable? It needs to hold, however. In a volatile market too, like today is, December 6th, 2018, you want ideas and trades to go your way ASAP. So it's walked up, got a little bullish because it went through 55. Why did that happen? Sierra's got a nice playback feature where you could play back the market. But you see where it went red and then green. If you didn't play it back, all right? Go into here. I got my other charts open, but you could go into here, select a VJ. Well, let's not select it there. Yeah, I got my toolbar. It's in my way. But you could put a verbal journal note here and said, hey, went red, couldn't go down. Green started to go up. Moment of truth above 55, you're bullish. Now this 2.5, maybe 3.5 point, 10 point rally at the beginning of it isn't a surprise. It isn't random. And you don't have to write this down or anything else. You throw a note on it. Let me shrink the chart and put a note. Driving me crazy. So you'd put a note on here and you would maybe make the color blue, which it still is. You go and select from your pre-title bullish and you you record because of the verbal journal and say, hey, it's a transitional moment, possibly above 55 because it came in red after a move lower, couldn't go lower anymore. However, green came in, so it's really important to get above 55 to be bullish, and it did, and stay above 54 or I'm wrong. So now you know where you're wrong also, because you're going to be wrong in this business. And you hit stop and you got that data recorded. And it lights up blue. You can go back and you can listen. Now it doesn't seem random in real time, and it doesn't seem random when you go back and review. Everybody's fearful when we put trades on. It's human nature. You're putting your money and your opinion out there. In order to become less fearful and miss less trades, you have to replace it with something, and that's confident. How do you get confident? Using the verbal journal. For example, and there's many examples of it, just like this.